You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Hey, Sam, Dov, Riley, you guys there?
Yeah, we're here. What's up, man?
Right, so we're just doing a quick audio test before the show goes live. But usually before we go live, obviously, so much has been happening during this offseason. Is there things you guys do want to talk about or not want to talk about? Sam, anything you can think of? Dov, Riley, anything?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, what do you got, Riley?
The sex tape. We got to leave that out. It's still, it's hot.
Is a lawsuit still not resolved?
No, it's an ongoing court case, and I really can't talk about it.
Okay.
Brian, how soon are we going to go live, do you think?
I think we
should hash this out before we go live.
Wait, live right now?
I thought we were doing a rehearsal, but I think I accidentally put it live. Oh, we're live.
Hey, welcome.
Oh,
Hey.
wow.
Oops, my bad. My
That
bad.
kind of blew. That kind of blew the lid. All right, so we won't talk about that on the air. So we'll bleep all that out in post. So nobody really paid attention
We'll fix
to
that in post.
Don't find
Anyways, thanks for listening. Second show, 2019. Welcome back. We're with the cleanest boy drifter you've ever seen, Riley Sexsmith. We're with Dov Aronoff. No dirt on these boys. Clean as can be. And yeah, let's get it started.
But before we start, Sam, where are you? You're looking like you're about to close deals.
Yeah. I look very comfortable here. At this spot. But yeah, I'm in Wisconsin, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Snap-on HQ. I'm in our main man Scott's office back here. I've got some sick RX-7, FDRX-7 magazine covers and inserts from Super Street and D Sport magazine. But yeah, here in Kenosha, shooting some Snap-on stuff, and here's Scott right in here. He's creeping in.
Oh, there he is, right there. There's the
hey,
man.
what up,
Mr.
Scotty?
Yeah,
Mr. Snap-on himself.
But I want Scott to pop in a little bit later in the show and tell you about his sick drift builds and also about some tools.
You're looking pretty.
If you'd like to hear a Snap-on tool catalog. Yeah.
Nice. You're looking pretty brown. You're looking pretty browny with that plaid shirt. It's like you knew we were gonna talk to some Canadians today.
Yeah, this is.
Hi, Corey.
Oh, what's up,
Hi, Scotty?
Mr. Snap-on?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, this is my Snap-on Dixon tee. It's a Jared DeAnda special.
Oh, so it's like 2XL?
No, it's a medium. Extra
You look like
medium.
a really bad used car salesman with your AirPods.
Well, Corey, you know,
How much could you get me?
Like,
how much could you get me into a 2001 Subaru? Kind of put together well, rough around the edge, a little rust. What would you get me out the door for?
I mean, Dove is the Subaru specialist of making old Subarus work good.
Sam, you ruined the skid. I was going to have you sell it to me, and I was going to ask Dov how much to fix it.
Okay, sure. Oh,
How many hot
Corey,
dogs
I've
can
got
you
a
fit in
good
this
deal.
bad boy?
Hold on, Sam's got a bill. Pitch a deal, Sam. What do you got?
All right, Corey.
Yeah, Sam.
You look like a lesbian. I've got a great deal for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
You're overweight. You obviously got some extra facial hair. I've got a 2001
Okay.
Subaru Outback.
That's what I was
It's got
looking
all
for.
the fixins. It's got the LL Bean trim.
Cool.
It's got yeah.
Damn.
Best I can do, 200,050 miles. It's going to be about 10 G's. How's that sound?
Now,
Bud?
do you know what? That's right in my price range.
Sold.
And exactly what I was looking for. But is it true they named the Outback after you because that's where you take it?
Yeah, I take my friends and family to the Outback Steakhouse because the blooming onion is a great deal. So I'd like to thank our major sponsor of 2019, Corey, Outback Steakhouse.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I
Welcome.
can't wait to have a delicious ribeye because I know Dov can cook some too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Corey. It's enough with the nonsense. Before
Yeah.
we start the show, we'd like to thank some Patreons
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, Sam. We have to thank a few people. We got to thank our Patreons, as our Patreons are the ones that keep the show rolling.
They are the backbone of the show.
Yep,
Without the Patreon, the whole show just
They're-
literally falls off or falls down.
Yep,
We-
keeps falling.
Yeah.
It's like a drunk high
They're
school.
the-
They're erectile
They're the
dysfunction issues and what?
They're the bareback raw dogs of the show. We
Pretty
gotta
much.
thank
Yeah.
all you raw dogs out there.
They're raw dogging it for the Driftcast.
And then obviously we have to thank
And-
long time listeners.
Long
Ryan
Lantain.
Ryan Lantain.
Yes.
We got to thank
Wait.
Ryan. And then we have to thank AM Intakes.
Oh, there you go.
We have to make sure we thank those guys because those dudes are the ones that are the if we had two backbones, that'd be the next backbone right next.
I remember.
to it
I
for
think
sure.
when you were born,
Yeah.
you took your
I was
first
a baby.
your first breath of
When I
air
was born a baby.
through an AM intake filter.
Now I'm giving it all my hair.
Yep, there you go.
And so are you.
That was was 2009, 2019.
Yeah, back to back.
There you go.
Backbone to backbone.
You're only 10 years old, Corey.
Yep. And then obviously we have to thank Dov and Riley. Oh, one other thing before we thank Dov and Riley, Maximum Driftcast t-shirts are still on sale on the website with
that's
key rings
right.
and koozies. So go to
gonna-
MaximumDriftcast.com, buy
we're-
some cool merchandise.
We are extending
What?
we're adding to everybody who buys a shirt, we're going to add a special sticker, like the limited edition sticker.
What?
Yep. So just for limited time, get them while they're supplies last. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Paco. All right, Dov and Riley, what are you guys doing?
I don't know. Just hanging out.
Listen to us rambling.
Exciting. Yes.
We've been waiting about an hour for Corey to get to the studio.
Yeah,
That's what
I've heard that.
Sorry, I was
Riley,
I was working out, dude. I do
Riley,
like 6 push-ups.
What was the 11th season of Deadliest Catch like?
The greenhorn.
Okay.
He likes those short hats. I don't know why, but he likes the short hats.
Man,
Yeah,
Riley.
I don't know. It's just in style.
He's
Do you
got
have a tiny head?
He's got a short head.
Let's
I
cut
have
to the
a
chase
really
here. Let's
small head, and
let's-
only the top of it gets cold.
Okay, I'm glad we're getting all
What
these
sort of
heavy-hitting
secrets
questions out of the way early.
Yeah, what sort of secrets do you keep under there?
Oh man. Well, the sex tape.
Oh,
I
come
actually have
on.
a hard copy.
Riley,
of it
we're live.
under here.
Riley, we're live. Just
We're not supposed to talk about the sex tape and the lawsuit and how many pieces the hooker was chopped in. Wait,
Pending lawsuit.
He's innocent
It's
until
not
proven guilty, and I don't know if that.
I don't know
is
if
the same rule.
I think
Canada,
in Canada,
but-
I don't. That doesn't go that way.
If you say sorry 3 times in a row,
In front of a mirror,
yeah, exactly. You're automatically
Bloody
expelled.
Mary pops out.
Justin Trudeau appears in
Pops
front
up,
of you
kisses
and
you on the cheek.
absolves you of all your sins.
Yep.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, who are you, kind, fancy Canadian gentlemen? Riley, Dov, who are you? What do you do? Where do you hail from?
Dub, you take it away. You start.
All right.
Yeah. buddy.
My name's Dov Aronoff. I'm one of the owners of Envil Auto, and we're the team that owns, I guess, Riley's car and campaigns his Toyota 86 in Formula Drift. And where am I from? Canada.
Uh-huh.
Live in
Canada.
Dov, you're the man, buddy. You're the man.
Hamilton. Yeah, and I cook for Corey. That's what I do. I'm
God
from
damn.
Canada, and I cook for Corey at Gridlife. That's
Yeah, he
my
does.
job.
And you also like give him like steering racks.
Oh
and
yeah, we definitely.
Power steering pumps.
Power steering pumps,
pumps,
lines, fittings.
back
coolers.
rubs.
Yep.
Apparently, I campaign 2 cars now.
Pretty much.
A Boss S14 and Toyota 86.
Well, I mean, maybe if Riley didn't blow the engine to a smithereens on that STI at Gridlife.
That wasn't his fault.
Hey, I got half a lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gridlife, for those that were not directly involved in this interaction, at Gridlife Gingerman, the first one of 2018, Riley unfortunately blew the motor on his sweet Drift WRX. And Corey came ill-prepared as always, and his car wasn't running in multiple ways. So Riley and Dov, being the gentlemen they were no longer are, but were at the time, they parted out Riley's car to make Corey's car work.
Yep. That's
Which, if you think about it, Corey, this is just like karma paying you back because your car's being parted out to assist the Formula Drift drivers at some point.
That is true.
So
I was going to ask Riley when you blew his motor, did you burn your lips at all?
Oh yeah, it was so hot. It was so hot.
Yeah. I just haven't seen it happen at a track before, so I wish I could have seen it.
That was a bad example of a JDM engine we picked up from a supplier up here, and it had low oil pressure, but we were like, we'll send it.
20 psi is enough.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, the nice thing is that's the closest Gridlife event to you guys. It's a good thing you didn't do that in obviously Atlanta or something like that.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't have done that for Atlanta. We literally just changed the oil pump and then said, all right, it should be good. Put it in the trailer, and I know half a lap was pretty sweet.
Did you guys get some good
PSI
photos?
for like a turbo?
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. It was fun, actually. To be honest with you, the oil pressure was fine until he started revving it high. Something's up with that motor. We haven't pulled it apart yet, but we put another one in, and it's perfect.
Just got back yesterday. Someone pulled it apart.
No, we used that at Gridlife South.
Wait, that motor?
I know we put another one in for Gridlife South.
Yeah.
Well,
that would have been good. That would have been an alpha move to go to Gridlife South with the same 28 PSI motor.
No. That
Don't worry, it doesn't spin anymore. I made sure it no longer rotates.
it's fused into one piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
The crank and the block have become one.
Oh, it's beautiful. What a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful bond, yeah.
So I want to know the story. How did you guys link up?
Same way we met you. Riley was ill-prepared.
Match.com?
Farmers only.
Oh, farmers only.
Do they have that in Canada?
Farmers only?
Yeah.
I think that's the highest demographic.
Or is it hockey fans only?
Oh, hockeypucks. Hockeypucks.com.
We met on Elite Singles. That's where we met.
Elite
What's that?
It's for like super smart, educated,
Wow.
like big brain people.
For none of
Do you
us.
take a quiz before you sign up for that, or you just kind of claim to be smart?
I don't know. I cheated.
Oh, so that's pretty smart, though. Work the system.
Right?
Smart.
That's pretty smart, Riley. But how'd you guys, Riley, you were ill-prepared showing up to Drift Track, and good old boy Dov was grilling up some weenies and saw you needed some help?
I'm ill prepared for most things in my life, but
Same.
I had bought a Subaru that I was trying to fix myself, and had gone to NV Auto to buy Subaru stuff.
Good.
And I had seen them at the track before when I was driving my truck there, and after going to the shop a bunch of times and kind of talking and asking them all these Subaru questions, we started kind of getting into drift talk, and it sort of took off from there. But it just literally started as me going there being like, hey guys, my Subaru's broken. Can you please help me?
I need one of those.
A broken Subaru?
Yeah.
No, I have
You've
one
had-
of
you've
those.
already
Yeah,
had
I was
one
just
of
say everybody has one of those.
Yeah, I have one.
And Dov, and when Riley walked through the door, you were like, who is this man just graciously presenting himself in front of me like that? I need to work
Who
with
is
him.
this idiot?
Actually, how I really remember Riley for the first time, because I don't remember him from the shop really the first time. I remember him in the pits at Grand Bend, running around with an Odyssey battery in his hand, screaming, I need a PC680, just freaking out because his battery exploded or something, and we literally peeled the battery out of my time attack car. So
And he
could go
needed a
drift.
motorcycle battery to fit with his front mount. Was the
Yeah.
plan?
I don't know why, but yeah.
Lightweight. It's lightweight.
Hey,
Yeah, it is lightweight, but they're kind of hard to find at the track last minute, or they're not. I mean, everyone kind of uses those for tiny battery applications.
Hey guys,
on
so
their
sorry,
drift cars.
Sam. Sorry to rudely interrupt. Just then, we just found a clip or a picture out of Riley's sex tape.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. I can't show it, but I paused it.
You can pause. Just pause it and show.
Just do a little.
Yeah, pause frame.
Yeah. So that was out of one of the tapes.
This is near the
We've
end
talked
of
about
the
this, but I did. I made it about 10 minutes in, Riley. I can't
That
believe
was
you can
just
bend
before.
that way.
That was right before the action began, right there.
Yeah,
That's-
that was
that's-
right before that.
That's a money shot.
Yeah. All right, we can cut that off,
Riley,
Brian. If
are
we
you
can get that
watching the
off, we
stream?
just can't.
No, he's not.
Okay, good.
I can't
It's,
see it.
it's,
I'm
the,
sorry.
it's a screenshot from St. Louis.
He doesn't need to
Oh yeah,
watch.
that was
there.
right before the finale, right there.
Yeah, that was called Going Down in St. Louis, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you guys met because you guys were Subaru bros. Subaru bros stick together through thick and thin. And then, how long ago was that?
5 years ago,
5
Yeah,
years
gotta be
ago.
5 years.
Wow.
something like that.
And then, at what point did you guys realize, man, we should really do something together?
About 5 years ago.
So it was a quick relationship.
Pretty much right
You
away.
guys jumped right into it.
Love at first sight.
Wow.
Dude, those websites
Yeah.
do work, man.
I bet they do.
Farmers.com, I'm telling you.
Well, if you're spending $14 a month, you hope to strike gold in the first swing. And,
As they say, strike gold in the first swing.
Who's the gold?
well, they both are in my eyes.
The thing was, we want to go drifting, and I think of myself as a great grip driver,
I would
but
say
I'm not so good at drifting. So he was the perfect candidate. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him drive the hard body, but it's magical.
I saw him drive Sam's
I've
hard
also
body.
seen him drive in a Nissan.
Oh, there it is. Look at that meat pipe.
I've also seen him drive in an old pickup truck, but his hard body does look good.
Well, whatever.
As you can see in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
every,
did see that.
every time Sexsmith's on scene, there's there's gonna be hard
Couple
bodies.
hard bodies running
Yeah.
around. Yeah, we've
Right.
seen that. Seen that
Like-
before.
Well, you
like-
mentioned your Dov, you mentioned your grip driving. What's your history with the racing cars?
I've pretty much raced about everything. I did a bunch of sport compact drag racing back in early 2000s. Actually, started like 99, so back when Steph was doing cool things.
You mean
Yeah, it sounds like the Papadakis realm.
Yeah.
Where you say sport compact drag racing.
you
you're
mean
in
Honda
Hondas.
Civics?
Hondas and 2JZ powered stuff. I worked with a team called Venom Performance. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, they ran. We had a Toyota Tacoma, Honda Civic, NA Honda Civic. That they're one of the big teams back when Street Glow was popular and all those guys.
Street Glow, you'd have the large indigo tack with the shift light that you put the rubber tip on.
Yeah.
to let you know.
Although we did go fast back then. And then that transitioned into rally. I got involved in rally. I don't know if you know Andrew Comrie Picard. I chased him around for a few years in the Canadian.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Kind of the same thing, just Canadian. And then transferred from rally to time attack, and now drifting. So
how did you get started in drifting?
Oh, just through Riley. We decided to build the STI. It was originally EJ powered, and it just kind of took off from there. We were fairly successful locally with that car, so then we decided did MDU for a little while there, and then found out that the EJ wasn't up to the task to hang with all the American LS peoples.
Yep.
i.e. Fuel starvation in cylinder 4.
No, not that. Actually, that engine's still running right now. That thing is a
really?
miracle. Oh yeah. But we just needed more torques, so we said we'll put a 2J in it.
Good man.
So Riley has given us a bit of background on your car as well, but like as Corey mentioned, whatever we need to do. You have to do to be a pro-am guy and get to that level, you have to basically drop everything in your life and say, I'm going to do it all to, move on and become a Formula Drift driver, because he left his old job. He now works for us at a not very good pay, but it's all we can do, right? Like we put everything we can into the drift program. So it's tough. I mean, everybody makes sacrifices.
100%.
I love how little emotion is showing in Riley's face during this whole thing.
I may have frozen slightly for a second, but
okay.
So there was lots of emotion. You guys just missed it all. And
Yeah,
now
you're
I'm
frozen.
to level again.
Crying.
Sorry.
The other thing, too, Dov, I was going to ask you, too, is being a shop owner and going through all the phases of motorsports that you have been through, have you noticed a difference in traffic in your business based off the motorsport you're in, and which one has been the most lucrative that you feel has kind of been the best return on obviously your investment into motorsports?
Yeah, well, it's kind of tough to say because when I was competing in time attack, we were like setting lap records. We probably had about 6 customer cars that were all competitive in their classes. So our Subaru and time attack business was very good. But now expanding into the drift world, a lot of things have changed where we're starting to make a lot of custom parts for people. We're doing a lot of fabrication. We're doing crazy things. I mean, we put an LS in a 911. We put a 2J in a 53 Bel Air. Put an LS3 in a BRZ. You know, like we've done a lot of cool things now in drifting that we wouldn't have done if we just stuck to Time Attack, because Time Attack was all Subaru based.
Good way to look at it. That's the thing too, is because the reason, other than being passionate about motorsports and things like that, it's like the reason you invest so much into these things is to hopefully have some sort of traction come back. If it is through, you know, customers getting wild ideas, and now you can kind of start expanding on doing these things you haven't done before, but also once again being lucrative, because as you know, being a team owner and operator, it's not always the cheapest thing to do, but it's definitely probably the funnest. But it's making that return come back, and then also for the drivers out there is coming up with a pitch for people like yourself or other sponsors to say, hey, this can be worth it, even though we're probably going to break our backs over it and sweat over it every night, but it will be worth it. It's what does it take, like Sam was kind of mentioned, to wrangle somebody like you?
You just need to, you have to go all in. You know, you have to say, if you're a Pro-Am guy and you're looking for a shop, you have to say to the shop, I'll work as late as I have to work. I'll post as many times as I have to on social media. I'll make sure that I get to the track on time. And like a big part of like being successful is like, I feel like we're probably the first guys at the track most of the time. Like I try to be super organized. I take a lot of our rally background and push it into drift. We try not to be fixing things nonstop. So we're trying to like make the car reliable and have ourselves well rested. I hate doing like the Hail Mary drives across the country and all that stuff because I want everybody to be rested. But if somebody wants to, no, Riley drives the truck for the most part. Actually, we kind of split it up this year, but it's tough because we also have to keep the business running, right? Riley is the counter guy at the shop. If you call Anvil Auto, Riley or myself picks up the phone.
Oh,
you got to put your hardest body at the counter, I've heard, you know, because that's the first initial. Right. You know, that's the face of Envy Auto, and obviously you would get that face.
Yes, that is what you get. And, you know, as crazy and as loud and strong as Riley portrays himself on track, behind the phone and the counter is like uber amazing customer service.
All right, Riley. I've got a 04 STI that's leaking from the power steering rack, and both front CV boots are ripped. Subaru quoted me $2,500 to replace all three. What can you do for me, pal?
Well, we could probably do a reman rack if you wanted. I usually recommend the OE ones just because they last a little longer, but a reman rack will probably save you about $700. The CV boots, I'd probably suggest replacing them with new axles. By the time you pay for the labor to take the axles apart, do the boots, clamps, and grease, it's usually a little more cost-effective to put 2 new axles in it. Mm-hmm. That way you get 2 new inner, outer joints, a lot more lifespan, and really that's a pretty small price difference. I'd say the rack aftermarket should be $300. Labor and alignment will be $625, and the axles will add another $125 a side. So should be able to cut it down by $1,500.
Yeah.
And we have an appointment tomorrow at 3, and I can have it ready the following day by about 11.
Jesus, Riley.
Man.
Yeah.
I want to buy a Subaru now.
Soul.
Oh, don't do it. You'll ruin your life.
This is a true story, by the way, and I just got my car back from Subaru because my key fob stopped working, and I also was like, hey, can you check out the CV boots and the steering rack? And they're like, yep, we can fix it. It's just going to cost you like 3 G's. I was like,
bro, you got to do the 2015 STI rack.
But so does that fit in there? Because the 04
it
is very... Okay, let's say the 04 rack is rare and expensive because all these chumps and their Foresters keep stealing them, the entire market of them, and put them in their stupid-ass Foresters.
You guys got to
upgrade. You put a 05 and up cross member in, and then at least you can get an 07 STI rack. It's a faster ratio.
Way too much
you guys got to stop talking about racks. Paco's getting moister than an oyster in here, and it's getting steamy. So we got to stop.
I'm just picturing doing all that to like all of my cars.
You want to do an STI rack in all your
on
cars?
the Subaru, on the SVX, on the Previa, And I just like
Just STI rack everything.
Rusty. Yep.
Rusty Eye.
Yep.
One
That's
thing
right.
that's
The
curious
old
about
Rusty
Dov
Eye.
is Riley told us in not so many words, because there's a couple people around the country drifting STIs right now, including one of our buddies in Phoenix, DJ Lloyd, who unfortunately just totaled his at Desert Mayhem. But Riley had said that the chassis was kind of limited by rear suspension travel, if I am recalling that correctly. What's the deal with STIs drifting, and what is their main limitation?
Just that big, long trailing arm and 2 equal length lateral links are the problem. There's no toe gain throughout the travel. So from like the entire stroke of the shock, the toe never changes. So it never gets side bite, essentially. It has lots of forward bite, but like once that car starts sliding sideways, it could, I mean, if the earth was flat, you could just drift the whole earth.
Whoa. It is.
Oh,
Paco.
sorry.
I know you're a Mexican that wants to build the wall, but it's this might be a hard thing to explain to you, Paco. But the Earth is slightly rounded on the edges.
Hey, it's just rough around the edges.
Hey, Sam, and one other thing I want to go back to Riley as he was giving you a price. Was that in Canadian or USD?
So that's actually Canadian dollars. So you can subtract.
right.
So like 40
$40
bucks.
off that.
Sam, you can whack 20% off the top.
That's
So,
cheap.
just saying. I'm just saying.
All right, can I send my car up tomorrow? How much is it from LA to Canada?
Yeah. It's
Probably
$1,500
the difference
each
in
way.
price. Yeah, between the dealer and that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me do a quick exercise with the Anvil voice right here.
Here we go.
All right, so Subaru SVX runs and drives great. I'm welding.
Here we
this-
go.
I'm-
Paco's got a broken Subaru too.
This is already a lie.
I'm welding. No, dude. Okay,
Runs
it's
great.
it's happening this Friday. So I'm welding the center diff. So I have a 3,600-pound car with a tiny, what is it, like a R160 diff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so which way should I go just to keep it rear-wheel drive and reliable?
Just clutch kick it and you'll fix it
Oh,
right
thank
quick.
you. Yeah. Just boom. I was gonna put my tires at 70 psi, so it won't happen.
Yeah, like a 195, 65, 15, 70 PSI. And then if you could get like dish soap squirters in front of the tires,
Yeah.
that would be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me and
Okay.
Brian will ride in the back seat and squirt some dish
Ooh.
soap on the rear
Squirting
hiney.
the soap
Yeah.
yourselves.
A little bit of bleach.
Yeah,
Add a little
that's-
fire.
So,
No,
that's-
but in all
and we're not
seriousness,
cheap either to rent, Paco. I'm like
Oh,
$60
I'll feed you. I'll feed you the.
How much do you lap to squirt soap?
I'm about the same.
About
yeah,
$65
but
a
you
lap.
can strap me to the roof, and I'll just
I'll feed
hold
you all
it
the
on.
hot dogs you guys want to. So, but no, anyways, which one's the most like straightforward Subaru diff? Diff that you can put on a Subaru when you want to go rear-wheel drive.
R180 is the easiest one, but
R180 from
That-
what though? Because there's many R180s
yeah,
It's
any
all
of
the same
them.
shit.
from a
Same
Subaru.
junk.
Yeah, they're all R180, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like an R180 from like a Datsun, and there's like an R180 from like, but they're shaped differently.
Well,
Use
the
a Subaru.
pumpkin's the same.
On the Subaru ones or on all of them?
All of them. All the 240Z guys use R180s out of STIs, and then Drive Shaft Shop makes a conversion CV axle for the rear. So
Okay.
like dimensionally, the outer like mounting points are all the same from like a 69
Damn.
Datsun to a 2019 STI. It's all the same rear diff.
Paco, you just got lit
Paco,
up.
I'm fairly car idiotic compared to you, and I know this. What's up, man? You want to talk?
No, there's. I mean, I've seen R180s in different colors and
Paco,
shapes.
call
so-
your boy DJ and have him put like a S chassis diff in that thing. For
That's
you.
where it's at. R200
Yeah.
for sure.
So on R2, I have actually. I think I have an R200.
Well, there you go. Your car's
There you
fixed.
go.
Ta-da.
Do the numbers correspond to bigger, beefier? When
Yeah,
you go
it's
higher?
the millimeter or the ring gear. So 200 mil, 190 mil, 180 mil.
millimeters.
In this instance, Sam, you're actually correct.
Whew. Before we get away from the topic completely on drift STIs, because it's becoming a cooler and better option for a lot of people, you guys still have a fun party car. You're keeping your STI, or I guess it's not an STI to begin with, right? But you're keeping your Drift WRX as a Gridlife party car, or is it just kind of spent for you guys?
No, that car's duty is grid life. That
Yeah.
will go to. That's all it does.
There's
So if
lots
you're
of
not in
party left in that old
competition,
girl.
Yeah, if you're not in competition, it's still a fun, awesome car to play with. You're just not going to get that competition level side bite speed that you want.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You just can't transition the car quickly. So Gridlife, where it's all fun party stuff, that car is actually really well suited.
And if you're a Pro-Am guy or just a pure party boy, you can have a lot of fun in an STI drift car with the right outfit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember that car very vividly, boys. Very, very well. I remember it very, very well because I have nightmares of that car, actually. I have nightmares of that car flying down Road Atlanta with this crazy bearded man driving it, asking me to tandem with him. And then he phased me.
Sticking out underneath the helmet.
And he phased me so hard, it changed my life that day. And I have nightmares of that moment still to this day. But
you figured it out afterwards.
That phase is what woke me up and told me to snap out of it. So I owe that to Riley for sure.
How'd Riley phase you?
Well, Riley rolls up next to me. He's like, "Hey, you want to run together?" So I'm like, "Sure, I'll chase you, Riley. Sure, let's go have some fun." Right? Just what bros do. We come down the hill, and Riley does this crazy huck that I was like, I'm looking at like the red and white rumble strip ready to initiate. So I'm driving straight in, and Riley flies from one side of the track to the other side of the track and does this huge monster entry. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to straighten out, and I'm going to drive the rest of the track as a cool down because I just got stunted on so hard.
Yeah.
And so that's how that all happened, Sam. And then from there, I was like, okay, I got to get on Riley's level real fast. And that's where the phase started.
Riley was driving Pro 2 level at Gridlife.
Oh, beyond that. I think the thing about Gridlife is it kind of lets you to explore more options than just what FD wants.
Yeah.
You can get away with doing this crazy shit.
Like, I'm straight, I'm gay. You can just kind of
You can be both.
Just let it happen. Just go with it.
Let it happen.
It's 2019. You can be whatever you want.
Yep. No, but that was... I probably had the most fun driving with Riley in that car. And that car rips too, actually, considering what it would. How much power does that thing make?
That's 35R with like 14 pounds, so I don't know, 450.
450. And it ripped. It ripped for 450. It was maybe it's just how Riley was driving it, but you guys didn't have any issues at all that weekend that I can remember, and I had tons of fun chasing the car. It was a great time.
No, it was well sorted for Gridlife South. We had done, I think, one local event here where Riley drove directly into the side of somebody, and we really screwed the car up good. And then we had it ready for Gridlife South.
Nice.
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
Sure.
No, the guy stopped in front of him. Whatever.
Dov, you keep defending Riley like you don't have to replace and fix every time he breaks something.
I only blame one person, and that's Farouk. Okay. The STI got Farouk hard at Gridlife
Oh,
South.
it did. I remember that. I think you know what? Atlanta didn't treat you guys well at all. Well, it has, but Riley crashed the GT86 or the BRZ at Atlanta, right? You bounced it off the wall, and then you got Farouked in Atlanta at Gridlife. So you're 2 for 2 right now.
It's all right. I like those odds. That's good.
That's not bad. That's 100%.
Yeah, that's 100%. A+.
Yep.
No, the Gridlife South thing was just a tire wall got dragged out in the middle of this track, and Riley couldn't see it through the smoke, and totally smashed the front of the car up.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah, nothing he could do.
I remember that run perfectly too, because I was once again I was probably phased that whole run. I don't remember. I browned out that run actually.
I think you were leading that group.
I was full browned out that run. So anyways, let's talk about Pro 2. Obviously, you guys had a pretty successful year this past year, and you guys, some of the people would consider you guys' battle with Ryan Little as one of the most exciting battles out of all Formula Drift Pro 1 and Pro 2 at Atlanta. You guys were driving your balls off for sure. But break down Pro 2 for us this year and how you guys felt it went.
This is your second year, just to preface this all, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Second, like first and a half. I came in late in the season. My first season, I only did Texas.
Yeah.
And then this was our first kind of full season from start to finish. And, you know, it had its ups and downs, but it started pretty good in Atlanta, other than smashing into the wall. Aside from that fact.
It started great, other than smashing into the wall.
Other than that part, that event went really well.
You had a crazy battle with Ryan Little, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that honestly, that was one of the best battle. That was the best battle I've ever had, and it right up to the very end was going really good. And then the next one was St. Louis, right? St. Louis. Yeah.
St. Louis.
And that was kind of not a train wreck, but honestly, our season was like a roller coaster. We do one really good event, and then one not so good, and then one really good, and then not. We finished on a pretty good note, but it was some teething issues with the car, and weather didn't cooperate at any event at all. It rained pretty much every single event we did this year.
Which is real nice on Pro 2 guys to go at these crazy tracks with crazy horsepower, probably more than they're mostly comfortable with, and then suddenly, it's pouring as well. Deal with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, they gave us a sighting lap. That's good.
First time
one
ever, pretty
time
much.
around the track to see what's what.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Yeah.
Dov, what's your take?
We had this year was really tough. We broke more things on the car than we ever have. We had transmission issues like crazy. That was, I mean, we would have been much further ahead had we not basically had to rebuild a gearbox or two after each event.
What was your setup?
GeForce GSR.
And then what was the issue?
You name it.
You name it. I want to know.
We broke a lot. We broke a lot. We had some problems in Atlanta with hitting the wall, so that was the expense in Atlanta. And then St. Louis, we had refreshed our backup gearbox, thought everything was good, and it went into the car and it was not good. It just kept popping out of gear, and then or downshifting all by itself, which was kind of neat. Riley would let off the throttle and it would go from fourth to third. So I don't know if you remember some runs from St. Louis, so the thing would just be smashing off the limiter because it self-shifted itself. And then we sent them out to have somebody go over them. We changed a bunch of shifter pieces, and that didn't fix the problem. And anyways, we came to California with 2 good gearboxes. So,
yeah. What's the plan for 2019 to alleviate that issue?
We're looking to use a different
2-speed power glide, automatic. That's it.
big stall in the torque converter, and
that's it.
Yeah. We're looking at a sequential gearbox, possibly. I don't know.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Riley didn't know.
I didn't know that.
What did you get?
We didn't get anything yet, pal. Relax.
But what are you working on?
A sequential of some sort. I haven't decided, or we haven't worked out the right deal yet. Put it that way, to get something else in the car.
Congratulations, Riley.
Damn expensive. Pretty much. I don't know. I don't want to say the most expensive thing because the motors can get pretty expensive, but easily number 2, sometimes number 1, depending on your motor build, right?
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I can rebuild transmissions. We build all our engines in house. We don't do our own transmission work, so it makes it kind of difficult when I have to pay somebody else to do that stuff.
And why is it that only specialists work on transmissions? I know it's a specialty type work, but it is just a bunch of gears on a spline. Or a shaft, I should say, not a spline. But what's special about it that you always have to send your every Pro FD team pretty much sends their transmissions out, from what I understand, to get serviced. Why is that?
There's I guess some tricks to it. I don't know. It's just, I'm sure if I bought all the right tools, we could do it. The other thing is all the specialized tools, and then the other thing is all the
that's it. Right
exactly. Snapple. That's all you need is those little flush cuts. You're good to go.
Those things are probably $600.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing is the purchasing of the parts. So if you call up GeForce and you're like, hey, I need a 4th gear dog, they're like, awesome, man, that's $700. Meanwhile, the guys that rebuild them all the time get a really good price on the parts.
Gotcha.
That also helps.
And then they'll not pass on that savings to you. They'll charge you the $700.
No, actually they do. Actually, I can't really complain because some of the guys we work with do help us out immensely, especially towards the end of the season where we are struggling so much with transmissions.
Yeah. So you've got a GSR box, lightly used, never been a problem for sale this season.
Two of them.
Yeah.
How much
no
Canadian do
issues.
you want
Only
from?
driven on the weekends, just to the grocery store.
Yeah. Autocross,
That's
light autocross.
Dov, I'll give you
Yeah.
3,000 Canadian for one.
3,000 Canadian. No.
Ouch.
That's hard.
How much is that USD?
3,000.
$12.
Yeah, I don't know, $15.
$15.
Did I hear a baby start crying in the background when you
Yeah,
said that?
that's my son.
Oh, you got a little
Sorry.
boy?
I have a little boy.
How old
I
is
have-
he? What's he do?
He
Is he
is-
hard at work on the shop yet?
He's not hard at work at the shop. He is here. I'll introduce him to the internet.
Hey,
This
Oh.
is Zev.
What's a,
Hello.
what's his name?
Zev, Z-E-V.
So it's like
cool.
Dov,
ZEV for you
Sorry,
American
ZEV.
listeners.
Dov,
Zed.
Dov and
Native.
Zev.
Yeah, so that's why I've been a little bit preoccupied at the track, not only worrying
Yeah.
about the race car, but he's only 10 months old, so
dang,
He came in March,
congratulations,
so-
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats.
I didn't even think you were
Congratulations, man.
pregnant.
That's an exciting season. Yeah.
thanks, Corey.
That's rude, Corey.
What?
He's just a big man.
So am I.
Well, are you expecting?
Not yet. Not that I know of. I might
A
be.
couple brown
I could
babies.
be. I
He's
could
been
be.
marinating one for about 4 years now. Just waiting for the right time.
Into his 80th trimester.
Yeah.
Just it's never going to release. One day,
So-
day, boys.
We're very early in the 2019 season, but what are your plans? Are you eligible for Pro 1?
Yep.
Are you
think
going
so.
to go into Pro 1?
Yeah, what's going on? Tell us the
This,
full
this,
scoop.
this is all Dov's answer. I don't know
Yeah.
the answer to this one.
It's
Really?
it's because I don't have a direct answer yet. We have funding to do Pro 2,
Okay.
but I am pushing as hard as I can with all our partners to step up to the plate and find some new partners so we could actually run a pro season.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be huge. And you would run it obviously in the BRZ.
8.6 Toyota 8.6.
In the hard body, that's it.
I'm only saying
hard body.
I'm saying BRZ because you guys are Subaru guys, and
Yeah,
I don't want to say
I
Toyota.
kinda thought
so
it
I want
was.
to try to keep with the BRZ
No,
theme.
It started as a BRZ, and through zero support of local Subaru dealers and Subaru Canada shunning us, I got support from a Toyota dealership. So it is now a Toyota, and we appreciate all the help we get from
Hey,
Toyota
it-
I
Racing.
can't
There
believe
you
you guys assumed its identity. It identifies as
it's-
a Toyota.
It's 2000.
Oh my
It's
god!
2000. It's 2019. You can do whatever you want. I mean, think about it. We have BMWs passing as Toyotas now. So yay,
See?
go for it.
I do love the fact
Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
it how Riley explained it.
Let's
is
talk
kinda-
about that relationship with you and the Toyota. So a bunch of people turned you down, as happens many times in making relationships with people. But you found the right place. And what's the exchange like? Are you doing like cool events with them? Are you giving them ride-alongs? Are you setting up? How did you leverage yourself as a race car team to a local entity?
Yeah, our local Toyota dealership's just around the corner from us. Like literally, you can walk there, and we buy a fair
convenient.
amount of parts from them already because we buy all the 2J parts, like OEM parts from them.
Mm.
And I basically went in after Riley piled it into the wall in Atlanta and said, "Hey, we need this, 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 and this. Are you willing to work with us? We'll park the car in the showroom when we're not using it. You know, it's a great opportunity for you. You'll get absolutely nothing for it because we run in the U.S., but help us out."
Yeah.
And the general manager of that dealership's actually a motorsports guy. He road races,
Sweet.
so he understands the struggles, and he's been really good to work with us. It's been super helpful for like not just that. I mean, just getting us in touch with the right people. Toyota.
The moral of the story is you gotta just find another kindred spirit that understands the race car life. That is like, I get where your life is coming from. You're in the pits 90% of the time, and you feel bad a lot. Let me help you, brother.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah.
There's a
I
lot
mean,
of those though. There's a lot
yeah,
of those.
there's a lot. It's in the dealership community. There's a lot of guys that have raced or do race at some point, and they're
Yeah.
good to work with.
That's cool.
So I'm surprised Sam hasn't found anything yet.
What do you mean?
You haven't found a ride anywhere. You have this drift
I don't know.
car. You have
He's
a drift
getting that
car,
sick
and
new
there's
Supra.
there's no good spirits looking for you, Sam. You just
Let's talk about the Supra calamity right now, because there's The Supra was officially the production version was just officially announced just yesterday, essentially, I think, at the Detroit Auto Show, and most people, judging by my my Instagram friends list, everyone's mad, and I get the design aspect of it. Why people are mad, I get why people are mad at the idea that it's pretty much mostly a BMW Z4. But what's your guys' take on it being in the Toyota-ish family and definitely now in the Toyota family?
I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't know if they should have called it a Supra because it's not all Toyota DNA. Like when they released all of the other Supras, that was their brainchild. Like that was Toyota's like flex.
It was their passion project. Yeah.
Exactly. So now for them to just kind of like copy BMW's homework and change the words a little bit and call it the new Supra. I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible car by any stretch. I'm sure it's phenomenal to drive. BMW's usually pretty good at making a car.
It looks,
but
yeah, like it looks cool, but it just like it seems like it's missing what Supras have always been. Because Supra's always been 2+2s, just to start with that, and this one is a 2-seater, so that already is a different thing.
Realize that.
Yeah, so
that's a Paco gripe. That's a weird gripe that Paco
No.
has.
I have the exact same gripe. Like for me,
Really?
it's a different car.
For me, Supra is like a touring car. It's a big car. It's meant to go on the highway at like 1,000 miles an hour, and I just don't see the new Z4 doing that. It's just like it looks like a Miata to me.
Yeah, it's a sport.
FRS.
It's more like it's like a sports compact or semi-compact, like an FRS, like a bigger FRS. But even the FRS is actually has seats in the back, so it's kind of like it. They went down to like what like a 350Z is, instead of like Supra was more of like a G35 market, like a Camaro, like the bigger two-door. It's similar to what happened with the Charger. The Charger, so always like a two-door big car, and then suddenly they make it a four-door. It's still a cool car. I just still don't feel like it's a Charger.
Yeah, they just should have maybe given it a different name. Like, don't call it a Supra. Call it the new Toyota sports car thing.
Non-2x2.
Yes, it's a two-seater. Yeah, like that, or at least call it the Supra Coupe. Kind of like because for example, like the 300CX, it came in both coupe and 2+2. So maybe you know what, like having the option.
I really hope Pontiac comes back with a Sunfire.
Oof.
Sunfire convertible.
I'm still confused by the complaint of the lack of a receipt because that is such a minor issue in my repertoire.
But I know, but Sam, but you're not a diehard Supra guy. I think purists are the ones that are having the problem, which I think purists are going to be the ones buying the car anyways.
Issue that the car looks frumpy and like it was designed by committee and that it has no soul.
Yeah, it looks
You think so? You think it looks frumpy?
It looks like a front car.
The bigger issue, like Corey made a very legitimate original content Instagram post the other day of a comparison between the concept car and the release car. And like what usually happens in a lot of concept to release versions is they take all these smooth, sexy, drawn out lines, and then they have to take them to the worldwide, and there's dozens of them, automotive safety boards. Like this bumper has to be this high. This has to be this high off the ground. This has to be this wide to fit through this area. And 1,000 people's hands got on a few artists' drawing, and it turned into this bulbous, ugly kind of thing. And that's not to say that it's terrible or ugly. It's just it's kind of like my complaint, not nearly as bad as the Civic Type R, the newest one. There seems to be like a lot of useless shit on there. Like the Supra, the last gen before this. Very clean lines. There's not useless shit.
It had unnecessary shit, yeah.
There's a bunch of unnecessary shit on this car, like the butt roof and
the fin
bulges.
But that's the trend now. Unnecessary shit.
I know it's a trend.
Well, but that's the whole thing.
That's
Go ahead and pull that up, Brian. Let's look at this real quick. Brian,
that's criticism right there.
I feel if it was a little bit longer in the back,
yeah, exactly,
and
like a 2+2,
a little bit wider, it would be a good-looking car. I like how they.
It's not ugly.
It needs to be a bigger car.
Yes, it does. Totally does.
It looks like Homer Simpson took an FRS or a GT86 or a BRZ, whatever the fuck you want to call it at this point. Took one of those bodies and put a bunch of gross stuff on it. And granted, it's got a 330 horsepower motor, which is what an FRS or a GT86 or a BRZ should probably have in like an STI trim or like a TRD trim. Like this feels like a TRD 86.
That's
More
called
than
a
it
turd
feels like
86.
The 36. Yeah,
It feels like an extra, like an asterisk on the end of a TRD car. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it too, you guys just said you have this relationship.
See, like,
with Toyota,
look at
so
the concept. I mean,
Well, even go
anything,
back, Brian.
but-
There's another one. That's a.
it's still like, but that's like basic.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not it. But like the concept, I mean, obviously, like I agree. Like concepts are usually way too much.
There it is. Look
They're
at that.
gonna
That's
go-
it. That's the concept.
They're gonna on concepts. They're gonna go a little way too out, but it still looks like it would be.
But that's what I'm getting excited to buy.
yeah, and
You know what I
then-
mean? Like that's what I would be excited to buy.
And here's the thing. I mean, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people on the internet kind of like making fun of like everybody who can't afford a Supra is the one who's complaining. But I've seen a lot of people who actually can afford a Supra.
Oh man, I was on the
complaining
list
as
to
well.
get a Tesla for about the same price, and I decided not to because I'm going to keep my STI until I run into the ground. But
Yeah.
like with payments and with financing, let's trade in my current car. Like, yeah, I could buy a Supra. I just don't think I want to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, and now here's another criticism. A lot of people, oh, it's just a piece of shit BMW. Like, what? BMWs are not
No,
shit.
BMWs are great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the Z4, I sat in one of the LA Auto Show. The Z4 was great.
yeah.
I bet this car is great. I bet it's fast. I bet it's fun to drive. The one aspect that I loved when I saw it earlier today, I think, was like, yeah, every Mustang GT $25,000 car owner is going to smoke you, and they're going to brag about it all day. Because all these V8 Mustang owners are just going to smoke you all over the track,
Dude,
all over the
maybe
drag race.
maybe even the EcoBoost ones. Because
It's gonna be like me with my brand new used 20,000 mile, 78,000 mile 02 Bug-Eye WRX, thinking I was the coolest kid in the block, having a super expensive car payment with a minimum wage job, and I thought I was the coolest, best car in the world. Then I got smoked by an SRT4 on the on ramp. It was the worst day of my life.
The super race turtle.
The race turtle.
all right, who's gonna be the first one to buy a Supra?
Who's gonna be the first one among the five of us, or
Yeah,
Sam's
or
mom.
six of us?
the six
Big
of us,
balls?
7. Yeah, nobody.
Honestly, I was very excited when they said that this car was coming out. I'm still excited to drive it. I'm still excited to see it. I'm still excited to see it in FD. I think that it needs some revisions in the style department for me to really enjoy it thoroughly. That's the bottom line for me. Is that it needs to be better looking.
And it's
But-
crazy to think nobody's going to be campaigning it this year in FD.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to bring up next. Is Papa Mama Kisses, our beloved FD friend, one of the best, if not the best, car builders in pro FD driving. And they announced just a few days ago that they will be sticking with the Corolla. And I wonder if this is internal decision. I wonder if this is external decision. We're going to have him on the show, no doubt, before the new season starts. But no Supras and FD is what I'm getting from this, because if he's not doing it, there's a couple of other candidates. There's Gucci, there's Turk, there's Rad Dan, who we just spoke to. He said he's probably not unless they give him one, and he has many months to build it. And I don't see these other guys building one if Papa's not building one. So we're probably not going to see a Supra NFT this season, which is kind of
what about
disappointing.
Riley is a Toyota driver? You never know.
Riley could.
Riley can. Yeah.
Guys, would you like to announce that you're driving a Supra?
That's an official worldwide first alert. You're going to be campaigning the brand new Toyota Supra in FD this year. That's it. You heard it here first.
You know this is recorded, right? People can
Yeah,
hold
they're
you
going to be
to your
like,
word.
no.
Disclaimer: nothing that Riley says is real.
I know in America you can just kind of say whatever you want, and people will ignore. The fact
Just
that
don't
it's
take
a lie
advantage
later
of
on.
it, Riley. Don't take
But,
advantage of our freedoms.
Are you what? So let's get back to you guys. 2019. What's the plan?
Chest wax.
Chest wax, sure, but Pro 2, but maybe Pro 1. Still in the, we're calling it an 8.6 now. It's not a Subaru anymore.
Yeah.
There's three possibilities on the table right now.
All right, let's hear it.
Pro 2, Pro 2, and Pro 1 at the 4 rounds,
Yeah,
or
get a taste.
just Pro by itself.
And what's the hinge here? What's gonna decide? It's obviously money, probably.
About $100,000.
$100,000 is the difference between those.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I've been rolling
What's
all
your-
my quarters. I've been saving all my nickels. and we're getting there. We're only $997,284.18 short.
Oh, it's not bad.
In
You're
other
getting
words,
there.
You're deciding that your per round cost 4 to 8 is about $100,000 difference. So 25K round ish difference to add 4 more stops to your tour.
Yeah, about that. And I mean, the biggest expense for us is to
Feeding
go to
Corey.
Washington. Yeah, feeding Corey at Gridlife, that's half our budget.
That's a
Hey,
lot.
those
providing
New
him
York
with the
Buffalo
parts
dogs
car.
you brought out were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Buffalo Dennis? What's that?
We brought some special gourmet hot dogs from Western New York.
Salins
Salins,
represent
that's
Buffalo. You can only get them in Buffalo. They got the snap casing. I can't. I'll go on for an entire podcast about these topics.
Yeah,
I can't even get into
I
it.
would too. I would too. Amen to that, brother. Yeah, Sam, you didn't experience it, so sorry.
I want to have some dogs.
Yeah. Anyways, the biggest cost for us is going to Seattle because it's a 4-day tow each direction for us and would require the shop to be closed for about a week and a half. So
You got to tell all your clients we're out. But you got to find Riley 2.0 that's just a janitor, just a CV boot expert to hold the doors open while you're gone.
we did try that this year. Our web store developer, Jenny, she kept the doors open while we were away, and I'm still not yet sure if it was a good idea.
Jenny did her best, I'm sure.
She did. Jenny's amazing. It's honestly, it's tough if for anybody to walk in and pick up the phone in the middle of July at the shop. It's wild. You know, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. I'm sure it was really easy for you to balance as well with a few-month-old at that point.
Oh, yeah. I believe it was in St. Louis right after that hurricane blew through. My wife called me to tell me he fell out of his car seat and smacked his head on the hardwood floor, and she's on the way to emergency. But don't worry, everything is okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't have a proper comparable because I don't have children. I only have cats. But one morning I was asleep and my girlfriend Stephanie was going to work before me, and she shook me awake. And she's like, Bucky just got stung in the paw by a scorpion. I'm going to work now. Bye. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I should wake up now. And then his paw was 4 times the size of a regular cat's paw. And that was how I woke up in the morning. But yeah, it's always fun to hear right in the middle of, in my case, sleeping, your case, an important track event.
Yeah.
Your baby boy is hurt.
It's all part of the journey, man. It's all part of it. I mean, honestly, I've been at racetracks since I was 14 years old. I've always been involved in motorsports. I worked for the local drag strip doing flyer delivery. I used to drive around to all the speed shops and drop off flyers for the local drag strip way back when. And pretty much every weekend we're at the track anyway, so that's pretty normal.
Yeah. So what is the 100,000? Do you think that can come from existing sponsors that haven't signed their contract? Or you need to find Lowe's, you need to find Home Depot, you need to find McDonald's that'll this Halo sponsor that'll show up tomorrow.
AdamandEve.com.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve. They seem to be
Adam and Eve.
sponsoring a bunch of podcasts and Instagrammers and meme pages. So maybe Adam and Eve will hop in.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to change the Enviado logo on the door to somebody else. It would be nice to brand the car to somebody else. And, I mean, it's just tough. I mean, it's I'm sure it's hard for American drivers, but being on the north side of the border makes it even a little bit more difficult.
I didn't even think about that complication you guys have of the fact that all the Americans complained when FD Canada was going down, we can't find any, our sponsors won't give us money for this event because their money doesn't reach into Canada, and Monster Energy doesn't. America is different than Canada, and let's say Hankook Tire in America is different than Canada, and they don't care about spending budget up there. It's got to be extra difficult for you guys with all the series being down here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it is. It's super difficult, and even just crossing the border. I don't know if you know what it's like to cross the border with a 44-foot trailer full of race car and spare parts and all that stuff.
I've heard that every single item needs to be inventoried.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean? Sure.
There's a couple different ways of crossing the border, but like if you are like
Legally and illegally?
No, it's legal both ways. I mean, it's just you just have to say the right things when you cross the border.
Hey, I'm not a coyote. I'm not smuggling people.
Yeah.
No,
usually when you start like that, or I don't have explosives, like they just let you right through. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Oh.
breezy that
Hey,
way.
what's up, fellow Americans? Hey, build the wall.
I was gonna say, yeah, like
Honestly-
it must suck with that border wall you guys have in between the countries, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see that wall get built. That'd be a wall. Damn.
Keep Americans out of Canada.
Yeah. You know, we're called snow Mexicans, right?
No, but I like that.
I've heard that before, but
Yeah.
I'm
I thought we
glad.
just called you guys White Walkers.
Actually, it's funny
brace
enough, going
yourselves.
to the U.S. to race is not nearly as hard as coming home. Normally, when you get to the border, you're like, "Where are you going?" Or going to Road Atlanta for what? A race. Cool, have a good time. Coming home, they're like, "What did you buy?" They're like ready,
Yeah.
you know.
I also
inventory.
didn't know if that was because I'm American going up there and vice versa. Because whenever I went to Canada for FD Montreal when we had it, and FD Canada, but in Montreal, or any other work that I've done up there a couple times, like going up there, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm just shooting video for fun with all this $50,000 worth of camera gear, because you can't tell them that you're going up there for work. Oh God, I hope they're not listening to this right now, because they'll like possibly tell you no. Like, it's actually kind of a thing to get into Canada to work without going through extensive hoops and what have you. Coming back to America, they're like, welcome, brother.
Yeah,
Yeehaw.
yeah. I think motorsports is much more understood in the U.S. than it is in Canada. Like sometimes when you're coming back, like I remember coming back from SEMA one year with the truck and trailer, and they're like, "Where were you?" Or like at the SEMA show. For what? Had the car on display. They're like, "You drove to Las Vegas to put this car in a car show."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They are like fully calling me out.
They're like, I'm sorry, sir, but are you stupid? But I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they assume everyone's a millionaire. Every time I go, well, how much are you being paid? I'm not.
Really?
Come
Did
on
they ask
now.
you that?
Oh, they assume that I'm getting like 6-7 figure paychecks every time I go across the border with the race car. It's like unfathomable that I would.
You obviously don't know many race car drivers. Yeah.
Well, you can
Not the right ones, apparently.
You can thank socialism for that.
What?
That's good. But it's crazy because it's just funny because me as a Mexican, the United States and Canada, we're kind of like the same thing. They're like, oh, they're both Americans, you know, like they both speak English, they both pretty much go back and forth in their countries, like no big deal. But it's just like funny when you hear like so much differences for being next to each other.
The funny thing is we blend in, so we'll be in America, and people are like, "Oh, where are you from?" And then you say Canada, and all of a sudden the attitude,
Ooh.
Canada, well, foreigners,
Getting
and then
it-
they can't
Yeah.
believe.
we're being invaded.
Yeah,
Build a wall.
Well, I'm sure it goes over differently during FD Irwindale or Long Beach than it does at Texas, for example.
yeah, I guess I don't know. To be honest, I've never had a bad experience in
Yeah,
America.
we
anyways.
joke about it, but all the people that support racing and everyone's excited about race car drivers coming across the country. Not everyone, but most people. They like race car drivers because we provide, you guys provide endless entertainment for all. So
Yeah,
Riley,
we're here
what's your plan to step
Actually,
up for
sorry, Sam.
2019?
Before we go, we have 2 super chat questions.
Oh yeah.
Let's just go get those out of the way. First
I'm
one
watching
from
YouTube.
Mike Bailey.
Oh, Big Mike!
What's up, Big Mike?
No, but hold on. What's Big Mike's relationship to you?
We grew up together.
Oh, sweet.
And he also drives truck for us and cruised for us.
Here we go.
Oh.
Big
Well,
Mike, what
Nobody
you got?
drinks more beer than Big Mike.
Oh man!
Hey, was Big Mike?
Mike-
Hold on.
Wolfens
Was
or
Big
what?
Mike the guy that showed up on the
No,
motorcycle in
no.
Atlanta?
He's from New York, so he drinks Bud Light.
Hey, Dov,
Young Mike.
is Mike the dude that drove the motorcycle to Gridlife?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
that's him.
He was
What a
hammer
beast.
timed in Gridlife for
What a beast.
sure. That dude was an animal, and I tried to get him to do a burnout in your trailer, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
It was. I don't know if you've seen him in Texas, outside Whataburger. Oh man, that was a show.
Was he was lit up or what?
Oh, we were driving around with him in the bed of the pickup truck on his lawn chair throne. Driving, it was bad. I should stop talking about this.
No.
Okay, so Mike Bailey probably is trying to get a hold of you guys because he's asking.
He wants to know what the schedule is.
Are we doing Long Beach? I guess he needs to know with time.
That's his question.
That's his question. Are we doing Long Beach?
In other words, are you in Pro 1?
Yeah.
Pro. I mean, it's called Pro 1, but Pro.
Pro.
No.
Come on,
we're trying, Mike. We want to be there, buddy.
Just bro one, please.
Yeah.
And then have another question from Stay Sideways. He pay $3.99 Canadian. So what's that, like 25 cents?
Yeah, about that.
Thank you.
$3.99.
Thanks, Stay Sideways. Riley, tell the guys about Boonies Bash / Top Drift.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
That's for any of you Southerners down there. We have this event there's a local series to us called Top Drift, which is, I know there's one in California too. This one has an extra P, TOPP Drift. And this kind of like a grassroots events. So they have a bunch of single day events and then 2 major festivals, the biggest one being Boonies Bash in the middle of the summer. So it's kind of like East Coast Bash, but more Canadian and slightly more reckless. Just picture like 9,000 straight pipe BMWs. And like
I can hear it now.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Not all awful.
All those Vannas going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's a huge party. It's one of the biggest events. It's a few hours from us, but one of the biggest events in our area of the country. And it brings a couple hundred cars for 2 days, and it's a huge party, driving all day. It's kind of like a free for all on this big road course. It's a good time. If anyone is ever in the general Greater Toronto area in the summertime, you have to check out Boonies Bash.
Dylan Sharp's on the comments, pretty much saying emphasis on grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very. When I say grassroots, I mean honestly, that's the first drift event I ever went to on a road course was at that track with a different sanctioning body, but it was at that basic same event, I think 8 or 9 years ago. So, just because it's super basic, you can progress from there.
Nice. Anyway,
Is your dog eating something?
Yeah, who's...
my dog is actually eating my girlfriend right now. If you guys will just turn your attention...
No, Joe! Run away!
Joe, you're on the internet.
Oh, hi, Joe. Oh, what's the name of your puppy?
That's Gunner.
Gunner. Is that like a blue?
Hello, Gunner.
Blue
yeah, he's
shepherd?
Oh man, he's grouchy. He's grouchy. I gotta turn the camera.
No, this is Maximum Dogcast, the first dog podcast where all the puppies are allowed.
I got another one too somewhere. I don't know where she is. She's sleeping upstairs or something.
So here's a question for you guys. Back to drifting. What are you guys looking forward to most this year?
I gotta think about that one. Duff, take it away.
I'm super pumped for Gridlife again. I love Gridlife.
Yeah, we all are.
I like to hang out and cook for Corey. That's fun. I do the grocery shopping and all that stuff.
Supply him with free car parts, cook for him, just really take care of him at the end of the day.
I'm telling you what, though, we had such a good time though because we pitted next to each other in Atlanta, and it was seriously. People want to talk about what drifting is. It's like a Gridlife Atlanta barbecue drift day is drifting. Like that whole environment is drifting. Go out. Yeah. Go drive, hammer down with your boys, come back in, eat some good food, hang out, listen to music, go to a concert. It's like, dude, it's a nonstop. And that was honestly probably my best event or my favorite event this year for sure. It was fun. It was so fun.
What I'm really hoping for is to go to Long Beach. That's what I cool. really want to do. Riley and I went to Long Beach last year and kind of scouted it out. We see what it's all about, and I'd really like to do that this year.
Dov really wants to see me put the 8.6 into the wall at Long Beach.
No, that's not what I want to do.
All right, tell me about your Long Beach strat. You've obviously visualized driving the course in your head. How does it go down? You leave the line, you shift, first, second, third, then what?
Fourth, maybe? I don't know. Sure, why not? I don't actually. I ran a similar. Who's that? Oh man!
Look at
who
that
it is.
absolute unit.
Uh-oh.
Look at this Chungus.
What a
Hey,
Chungus,
Chungus.
Chungus.
Oh, he
What?
double hammer time right
Double
now.
fisting a White Russian and a beer?
I've been drinking a White Russian and the wine the whole time, and Jared has joined me here. Jared Deanda in the house. He's here in Kenosha filming some Snap-on tools with us here. Jared, we're here with Riley and Dov. They want to let you know right off the bat that they're sorry. And
sorry, guys. Sorry.
Want to know they're sorry?
Where's Corey and Puck?
oh, they're there. You just
We're
can't
here.
We're
We're
here. Like, switch real quick.
Balls is controlling the ones
There
and
you go.
twos.
Hi. Well, hurrah. Oh, there you go.
Sam, do you need another drink?
No, I'm good, man.
We were actually, Jared, we were just talking about what are these guys going to be excited for going into 2019? Potentially running partially Pro 1, maybe Pro 2.
They're planning, depending on almost like everyone, if they get enough money, they're going to run
Yeah.
Pro. And if they don't get enough money, they're not going to run Pro.
That's usually how things go. I think 2019 has a lot at stake. I think, the guy to beat obviously is James, but you look at Frederick and Toyota Supra, or if that's not going to come, or if it's going to be there.
That sounds terrifying.
I know.
You're like, all right, so Pro, are you ready? James Dean and Frederick Osbo, are you ready to beat these guys?
So we're watching Game of Thrones upstairs right now, and we're rewatching it just to kind of refresh our minds. But you guys are going up against some crazy warriors and soldiers. I mean, there's a lot of noise in the motorsports world, but I think Formula Drift has a lot of exciting drivers. I don't know. It just seems like I don't think there's really anybody that's gonna come out. I mean, yeah, the target's on James' back. But I don't think that there's anybody that is completely invincible at the same time.
So do you think that Riley's going to be the guy to take it?
I think Riley had some amazing moments last year, and I enjoy watching him drive. I've seen him drive up in Canada, and I've seen him do some great things. I think again, the importance is to just focus on your team and not get snipped. I think the focus is to just really focus on your team and just have great marketing and put your whole program together. I've said it and I'll say it again. You got to win before you show up. So
what does that mean?
That means you have your followers, and regardless of your outcome of your event, you're still going to have those followers, and you might gain some if you have just a really good exemplary beard, glasses.
Yeah.
Just beanie.
Kit, your old kit's got to be on point.
Earpods, grow up, lose the cords.
This is actually really good. I've never done a podcast with AirPods, but this is very convenient that I can just plug in Jared. He can come down after not listening.
You gave me one of your.
The only downside.
No, what's beautiful about Jared is he cannot listen to the first hour and a half of a show and just come down and just start throwing around keywords: Frederick Osbo, James Dean, Supra.
Just power
No,
words.
it's excellent. It's just showing that your aptitude as a announcer and a public speaker is. You walked in, you put in the earbud, you're like, yeah, I think it's gonna be a really interesting season with Frederick Osbo.
Is that corny?
No,
I thought you really.
We're talking about Gridlife, though.
That's
We're in the
skill.
middle of a Gridlife conversation, and I just love that you riffed off of what you had going for you, and I love it.
Yeah, okay, Gridlife, awesome event.
No, we're back on FP now.
Okay.
Jared.
Yeah, okay.
If you had to give Riley Sexsmith a nickname, go for it.
The Anvil. He's the Anvil.
Why is he the
The
animal?
handful.
He's smithing sex all the time, so you bang away and you start.
I like it. I
There
like
you
it.
go. Okay.
That's the first one that comes to my
No,
mind.
the anvil's not bad.
We'll see if it works.
No, I kind of like it because Blacksmith is on
I
the
thought-
Anvil, a Sexsmith is on the Ham.
He's not really feeling it though.
No,
No,
this
I
is the
just-
face he makes the whole time. He doesn't change
This is
his
just
expression.
I have like resting bitch face. I'm sorry.
RBF, like it's your job.
No, it's not resting.
Yeah.
It's resting bro face because he's
Yeah.
not
Bro
mad.
face?
He's
I don't
just
know.
hanging.
Riley bro face.
I'm just soaking it all in. This is wonderful. I'm just trying to experience it as best I can.
Is that a
That's all.
ninja behind you? What are you, fucking Tom Cruise? What motorcycle's that?
Oh, this is,
Z1000.
you have two bikes.
Z1000 and you can't just have one. And
Where
a
are you?
'93 Suzuki
In
Bandit.
your parents? Are you in your parents' pool house or something? Where are you right now?
This is my It is my parents' house, but no, just our house. I don't know. Here, I'll take you for a tour. We got a kitchen over here.
It's still Christmas. It's a 15.
We'll go for a cruise through the house. I'll show you guys around. See, look at this cathedral ceiling in here. It is something else. Let me tell you.
Go back to the red Kit Kat clock.
Let's go check out that Christmas tree again.
The Christmas tree? Yeah, this is Joe's handiwork. I didn't do the Christmas tree. I went and got it, and that's it. I carried it out of the Christmas tree farm, and that's as far as I went.
You haven't undone it yet either.
No, it's
no.
You don't take that down.
We put it up early because I don't know if you know, there's only 300 days till Christmas or
so
something
like
that.
Also,
I like to be
in Canada,
ahead of the game.
In Canada, Christmas season lasts till like April, right?
No, he just set it up for this year. Just wanted to
get
it up early.
2019 Christmas.
Yeah.
Riley, you got to go outside. Since you're on your phone, Riley, go outside and start your truck up. And wake up the fucking neighbors.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it'll start. It's really cold.
It is cold out. Never mind.
Baby's
you guys don't know what I'm working with, though. Come on, we'll go for a cruise outside.
Yeah, mining zone. We're doing.
Riley, where do you live again? Ottawa?
No, I live kind of near Niagara Falls, but I don't know if you could see. I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's a whole bunch of nothing out here.
Can't see anything.
How cold is it there right now?
Looks like
What's that?
What's the temp in Celsius?
I don't know in Celsius.
-4.
He just got locked out.
No, I don't lock the doors, man. We're in Canada. Actually, the front door doesn't lock anyway. It's broken. It is
to protect yourself and your freedoms.
How many guns?
Yeah, to protect your freedom.
I have 3. We have 3. 2 officially. 3. No, we'll say 3.
One
undocumented.
One gun on each arm. And what's the third one?
Oh, easy bucket.
There we go. Yeah. I got one gun right in the middle. Between the. I won't go into too much detail.
You're a gentleman. You don't have to go to Jared's level.
Do you have a dead horse shirt on?
Dead Machine.
What's his name?
Dead Machine.
Yeah, Dead Machine.
I do. There. Dead Machine.
What's his name?
This is the OG shirt.
Yeah.
Curtis.
What's his name? Curtis.
Curtis.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jared is
boy,
on
Curtis.
brand point here.
Got that new slip club on too. Gee.
Yeah. Gotta have
What's up with all the skid lids behind you?
No.
That's my wife's helmet collection. My wife is a crazy motorcycle enthusiast, and a big Rossi fan, so she's got them all.
I thought she just wanted to headbutt you, and that's what she has to do to combat you.
Yeah, and that's it. It's for safety. It's her safety.
It's post-medieval times. This is what you have to do to battle death.
Can you imagine waking up to a helmet headbutt in the morning? Just like you open your eyes and whack.
Good morning.
Run your chin.
I swear to God, Valentino Rossi just woke me with a headbutt.
Sam, what do you think of Sexsmith's program sheet for next year?
I hope he gets the money because I know he's already one of the best Pro 2 drivers. I would love to see him dominate Pro 2 completely. I bet he could be a top 16 Pro driver with a transmission that works and enough budget, of course. So I'd be excited either way. I think realistically, personally, because I leave it all out in the podcast, or let it all hang out, as I always do. I think I'd like to see him be a first-place Pro 2 driver before Pro. However, that's not to say he shouldn't run a full Pro season if Team NV doesn't get the money, or if they get the money to do so. I'd like to see that. But I've seen too many drivers run into Pro, all willy-nilly, as it is said, and have a bad time and blow 6 figures and say, fuck this, I'm out. So I'd rather not see that. Not that I think that you guys. I sound like me. I said not. Not that I'd like to see you guys do that.
What are you in Boston now?
No, it sounded like our buddy Jacob Pistonhead with his super Canadian accent. You guys have somehow been very non-Canadian sounding this entire time. But I digress. I think that if I were you, I would probably stick in Pro 2 and I would dominate that one more time. Because this year was good for you. It wasn't dominant by any means. That's not to say that if you got the money, I wouldn't run Pro 1. And at the end of the day, I'm just
No, Sam?
Did you guys hear that?
What happened? Did Jared just shit his pants?
I think Jared is just...
Oh, no.
We're having a really serious conversation, Jared.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
All right. That is to say, don't take my word for something more than it is. I'm just a podcast guy that's sometimes announcer and film guy. So you guys do you, but that's my opinion.
Honestly, Sam, I am along the same exact wavelength as you are. I would much rather, like you said, stick in Pro 2 a little longer and really like solidify the program and dominate that before making an early jump to Pro. However, if I get the nice thing about driving Pro would be to be able to drive with those drivers. Like I would absolutely love to drive with Dean or Osbo or Gittin or any of those guys, just even for the experience, even if it means I don't qualify for a few events, just to be able to be on the track at the same time, trying to follow what they do is such a huge learning experience. Like I look forward to that so much.
But also, you're doing that at Gridlife anyways, which is cool. And granted, you're not in the pro cars. That really doesn't matter. But I would say also up your media program is have a Pro 1 top 10 media program before you get into Pro 1. And you're already set then. And whether you win or lose, you still have the coverage. Going into Pro 1 unprepared media-wise, it's silly because you got to harness those battles with these big guns. You've got to have a media guy or have someone that's going to videotape your...
shopping yourself right now?
No, I don't have time for this shit. Have a media guy that will take a video of your battle with Vaughn and make the coolest ass video in the world that Vaughn shares and Ford Performance shares and whoever shares, and then they say, who is this young hard body Riley? And then you get all those. Yeah, exactly. But who is this hairy bicep?
Baby arm? It's like a goat arm. And that's what I was talking about. It's winning before you show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the components.
Yeah, I was ripping off that.
We're on the same wavelength. Dov, you're not. You don't live in Canada.
What is this, whiskey?
Yeah, I do. I'm 100% Canadian. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I thought some of y'all were down in like Michigan or.
No, a couple of our crew guys. One's based out of Ohio. The other one's out of New York State.
Maybe that's where I was confused. Sorry.
Yeah, Big Mike. He's from New York, and Drift Dave is in Ohio.
Big Mike and Drift Dave. I love your team, man.
Yeah.
You guys are solid.
Well, I mean,
they're hard workers, man.
Yeah. Didn't Drift Dave get involved in drifting, Riley? That's why we call him Drift Dave?
The first drift event I ever saw, I wasn't even a part of it. I was just carrying tires for somebody. He won it. And just like this random guy that none of us knew showed up out of nowhere in like a pretty much bone stock S13 and just schooled everybody and then went back home to his like small farmhouse in upstate New York and then was forever known as Drift Dave from that point on.
A lot of BMX cats up there in Canada too. Like like you said, that OG shirt. It's kind of there's a lot of correlation between that. I mean, I know Tony Angelo, and I mean even Dom, who works with Forsberg, and a lot of BMX cats.
Yeah, all the '90s extreme sports guys kind of funneled into drifting in one way.
If you call it extreme sports, you are '90s extreme.
No, that's what it's called, man.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like if you call it extreme sports, it was action sports.
Riley? Is that your truck on that trip?
Yeah. So this is my good friend Scott, who is also an absolute shredder behind the wheel, and then this is my hard body.
BMX Scott.
Well, now he's got a Corolla, and he drives. He scares me actually.
That's definitely your
hard body. 2004 Toyota Corolla or an 8.6.
Yeah, but it's a
very
Corolla
big
S.
Difference.
It's a Corolla S with the extra skirts, and it's got the 1.8 liter. Whew, it's
very
a rocket.
Good.
Yeah, he's a maniac. But yeah, no, that's him doing a stall on the back of my truck while I'm doing a burnout at the event that I had to bug Dov to borrow a battery. Actually, we were talking about earlier. This is Dov's battery right
full
there.
Full circle, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's
that's kind of the two worlds colliding. This was his first drift event that he ever saw, and this was his transition. We were just talking about it the other day because he was at the shop. He said this was his transition from bikes to cars, where he really got involved, and now that's all he does. He has an 88.6 that he's been driving for a few years now, and he's looking to compete and do all this other stuff with it now. So it's like Jared said, there's that transition from action sports to drifting that I see with so many guys.
Good. Riley, how old are you? When were you born?
Old enough to party, Jared.
1990. I'm 28. I'm almost 30 now.
That's all good.
You're a real big boy. Can I say that on the show? Is that cool?
You're
all right, cool.
You're good.
So you can't
but to add a neat little bow before we get to our final questions and our Instagram stuff, that's one of my favorite things is that you are a farmer from, an actual farmer, but you're on Farmers Only. driftcast.com.
I do live on a farm.
Thank you. Yeah, but you live on a farm, and you're a Canadian farm boy that's hanging out and succeeding admirably in Pro 2, and in the very near future, or in another year later, you're going to be in regular old Pro. And it's awesome, and we're always happy to have you and Dov on the show. We've had you on the show in the past. Dov, new to the show in some way. I think we may have called you at one point for something, if I recall correctly, or you might have been in. I don't know, but it's really good to get an insight in the program of some Canadians running an FD and kind of what it takes to make it out there. And you guys are still grassroots to the core, at the end of the day, which is what makes it awesome. And you guys are succeeding
100%
doing this. Paco, Corey, any more major questions?
Yeah, there's
before,
two.
Instagram?
There is two super chat questions.
Let's hit 'em.
I gotta say, the Canadian dollars are pouring in.
Ooh,
yeah,
we
so,
made 35.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we're gonna get some Canadian bacon after this. From Stay Sideways again. Tips on going pro from Toronto grassroots to FD.
Seat time. Actually, no. Just buy a pro car and don't even practice. Just spend 5 years building a professional drift car, and then just go compete immediately, and that's how you turn pro.
Wow.
What do you mean?
Wait, can we do rock paper scissors really quick?
All right, 1, 2, 3,
Dov.
shoot between you and Jared.
Well, on 3 or after 3?
1,
shoot.
2, 3, shoot. So it's on 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Shoot.
Oh, damn it.
Jared won.
That's the-
Jared Paper. Riley with no. Jared said
No, I had paper. He
first announcer ever.
Let me
2019.
let me send that same question to Dov, since he kind of knows more on the aspect of managing a program. Tips, Dov.
Tips?
From moving from grassroots to FD.
I'm going to give the same speech that Von Gittin Jr. gave to us at Irwindale to all the Pro 2 guys. Get your media program out there. Get the content on the internet. Build your fan base through the internet. Don't worry about winning events. Everybody's so focused on winning events. Just go out there, get the sick videos, get them on the internet so you can provide something to your partners. Because if all you can say is I'm the best driver ever and nobody will ever see it, it's kind of it's kind of
Wait, Vaughn said get your media program dialed, and Vaughn used to hire me?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, if Sam was here, we couldn't fit his head out the door.
You're not the only one. Danny Puckett.
Yeah, Danny filled some shoes. All right.
Another super chat question. Also, Canadian dollars flowing in. Question for Dov and Riley from server Lux 10, XX server Lux X10. Would you rather fight 100 dog-sized Dimitri Goritsas or one Dimitri Goritsa-sized dog? And explain who is Dimitri Goritsas.
Dimitri is one of our sponsored drivers from Enviado. We give him precisely nothing, and he runs our logo. It's sick.
What a deal.
A Dimitri-sized duck would be pretty
What
scary.
an animal.
Can I have a deal? Can I propose a deal for you, Dov?
What's up?
Can you send me Riley for a weekend and 2 front axles and a 2004 STI power steering rack and Riley's body to install it?
Okay.
And I'll run an Enviado, stick it on my door.
I'm gonna stop you
Southern
right there.
California for 1 year.
You don't want Riley working on your car, number one.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riley.
No, it's a bad scene. You'll learn every swear word, though.
Yes, Riley is an awesome rage worker. Once he gets really angry,
I have that problem too.
it's a good time. But what you really want is Nam, and that is the other part of Enviado. You want Nam to come down, and he will hop into his Vietnamese ninja uniform and fix your car right quick.
Are we talking like Viet Cong or NVA? What are we talking? What's a Vietnamese ninja here?
Well, he's about 5 feet tall.
Okay.
And is a Subaru master. He is
awesome. That's what I need.
Yeah.
So just send him on the plane with an 04 rack and some CV axles, and we'll call it a day.
I'm sure he'd love to hang out in California.
Well, I'll pay for his flight, and do I still have to run the door sticker then? Because you have to lose him for 3 days.
No. It's if you pay for his flight, you can have him. You have a shop where you could work on it. It's no problem. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, put me in contact.
Perfect. And to answer Dimitri's question, I'd rather fight 100 duck-sized Dimitris.
Wasn't Dimitri the pterodactyl from Land Before Time?
That's absolutely correct, Corey.
Good job.
That was
Corey.
Ducky.
Moving on
That
to
was
the next
Ducky,
level.
Corey.
Corey Hosford. Moving on.
Sorry, I was really
Double
thinking that
challenge
the.
or double dare?
I was thinking.
94 times, guys.
I was thinking, really putting two and together. I'm like, man, I've met Dimitri before. I'm like, no, never mind. I saw him in a movie growing up. Sorry,
a movie.
different one, different Dimitri.
And
boys,
finally, before we go to the
super chat?
yeah, well, it's not a super chat, but these ones actually, it's a petition that it's officially
Something
on,
was just submitted to us through Pat Gooden.
on change.org by Pat Gooden. So Brian, could you just show us real quick? There's a petition online that Pat Gooden, our good friend Pat Gooden, just created on change.org, and it's remove Sam from Maximum Driftcast. Petition.
How many signatures are on that?
There's one signature right now. Pat is counting on you. Pat
Is
Gooding.
it Pat? Is he the one signature?
Yeah, Pat Gooding started this petition to Maximum Driftcast. See, like Pat today, Pat is counting on you.
Maximum Driftcast. Pat and I have had a public beef for quite a while.
How many people?
Join Pat and Zero supporters.
Today, Pat is counting on you.
Pat Gooden needs your help with Maximum Driftcast. Remove Sam from Maximum Driftcast. John Pat and Zero supporters today. Change.org. So, I mean, just saying. Thanks, Pat. Much appreciated.
Pat, I want you to think hard and long about what you've done here. Jared's got my back. He's my homie. Literally, Ryan literally. Jared's got my back. And he is going to be announcing you in pro next year. Should you actually build a car and show up, Pat? So if you decide to do that, you already got a little deficit, bud. Okay? A homie here, Jared.
Wait, Pat who?
See?
Oh, Gooding?
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, Jared. So we're talking about Pat Gooden, your possibly illegitimate son.
Yeah, well, you know what? I haven't talked to him in a while, so that happens.
Well,
I thought we were talking about Pat Merdon. I was like, what is Pat Merdon?
Hey, Sam, if you could,
we're talking about the less cool Pat.
Hey, Sam, I was going to say, if you could say anything to Pat right now, what would it be?
Pat Gooden?
Yeah.
I'd say,
if you're face to face
good luck with everything that's coming up in your life. I wish you the best. You've got a lot of challenges. I really believe in you, considering all the disabilities
Tell Donna I love her.
you have coming against you, and I really hope that 2019 is your year, buddy. I know you don't mean everything you say. Look, I really enjoy your company and your friendship, and I just hope that you are happy.
Right, Sam, that was very depressing.
Yeah.
We can go to Instagram.
Hunter, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on in Canada right now?
Oh man, he's
right now.
He's mauling Joe. Either that or a grizzly bear just broke into my house. I'm not sure.
Well, Canada stuff.
No,
yeah, it's normal.
Should we do some rumor mill stuff? Should we talk about the rumor mill we'll talk about today? Should we?
Well, we have to hit some questions, and we should hit the rumor mill, of course. But our show will have to wrap at some point here. I've got to shoot in the morning. So.
Should we do the rumor mill with the Canadians?
Yeah, we should do the rumor mill of the Canadians. See what they think.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
What's the rumor mill, Corey?
Well, so the rumor mill is this. So from what I heard, and this is all rumor mill, that Alec, Honadell, and Huddy are no more. Okay, they're done.
Were they dead?
I guess they're not. I guess Alec's not working with Huddy anymore, right? And so Huddy, Huddy posted that their work starts now, and they posted the BMW that they unveiled at SEMA, which is supposed to be Alex's car.
The BMW.
The BMW that he was supposed to be campaigning for Huddy.
Uh-huh.
Well, Alec is supposedly out. They're building this new BMW, and the rumor is it might be for Dylan Hughes in Pro 1.
What?
Corey, where are these rumors coming from? You just making this stuff up?
Nope.
You heard it on the grapevine?
I just heard it through the vine. I hear it through the mouths of the people, but
Are you allowed to talk about this, Corey?
it's just rumors. So I don't know. I'm just bringing it up as a conversation.
Seems out of place.
Dov seems like he has an opinion on this.
Oh, I'm pumped. If Dylan gets a ride, that's awesome. He did a amazing job this year. He really he's one of the guys that deserves it. So I'm all about it.
Jared, you stepped away for a second, and now we're being muted. Hold on, we're being muted. We're being muted by Jared and Sam.
Yeah, we're having insider discussions.
Yes, go ahead and unveil it. Well, the thing that concerns me is why is Huddy only keeping drivers for one year?
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out. What is causing the 1 year turn and burn?
Things that make you go,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so that was
I
kind
don't know. Alec posted a picture of his S chassis.
That's right, and that's the other thing is Alec posted his
micro
S chassis
machine
today and saying that he's rebuilding his S chassis. So there's definitely something going on with that whole thing right there. But very, very, very interesting as we get closer to the season as far as things that are kind of stirring the pot. Obviously, Alex Hillebrun has mentioned he's going to be back for the full season in Pro 1 this year again with Rick from RTS.
Another BMW.
So that's another BMW. He's going to be campaigning the E46 again. But I think things are now, we're going to start seeing things leak out. Rumors are going to start popping up. But that's kind of the dish that we've been kind of hearing through the grapevine the past couple of days. So I figured I'd see if you guys have
some hard rumors on MD tonight.
No Supras.
I can...
Riley Sexsmith sex tape.
Riley Sexsmith.
Yeah, Sexsmith sex tape. Yeah, sorry, Jared, you weren't here for this.
No.
He's got a real gross.
Hence the name, the awkward Anvil.
The awkward Anvil.
I like that because he hits hard and he apologizes after.
You're welcome, I think.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. In that order.
Yeah, that basically describes my life in a nutshell.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And it's a double entendre. I'm sorry. He's sore and he's sorry.
All right, Corey, should we do more Instagram questions?
Let's hit the Instagram. No, that's it. That's all. I'm just going to dish that out.
Instagrams.
But I want to know what you and Jared were whispering about.
Jared was just saying, like...
I left the room to go fart.
Jared, so first of all...
Here, mute the mic, mute the mic, mute the mic.
That is completely true.
That is a fact.
And I appreciate that. And that he even stood out there for an extra 10 to 20 seconds to not waft that back into the room here. So that was guy.
That's very gentlemanly.
Yeah. Despite what everyone says about him, he is a nice boy. Yeah. But
any other thing? Did you guys hear anything up in the Great White North? White Walkers?
yeah, White Walkers. What do you got?
I heard Goebel's gonna do pro next year. I've heard
Brody
that rumor
Goebel.
floating around. Yeah.
Brogo.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
That's a good one. I like Brogo.
actually, I'm gonna take the opportunity to tell Brody and Schmidt, get your shit together, boys. Been trying to get you on the show for a couple of weeks. So.
Sounds like they have a 2-car team coming up for Pro 1.
Yeah, they're not interested in the show, though. Media is not important. So if they don't want to be on the show, that's fine. It's not like it's free advertising to a bunch of people that may have never.
Is that how you say Brody Goebel's name? That's how Jared says Brody Goebel's name. Brody Goebel.
You can't not say
Brody
that way.
Goebel.
Yeah. There's also no rumor mill or anything, but our buddy the Zoo Drifter.
Zoo Drifter.
Oh, he's driving an ATS or something, right?
Yeah, then we have a 2 ATS.
Do you call him the Zoo Drifter?
Huh?
Who's the Zoo?
Who owns a zoo?
Me.
Kumakubo.
Yeah,
Kumakubo?
Austin Meeks.
Austin Meeks.
Yeah, Austin Meeks.
No, Meeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
Meeks. I was like, what are you talking about?
joining-
Funny story about Austin Meeks. I had
Uh-oh.
to lend him my pants in Las Vegas because he forgot. Yeah. I'll
Honey,
let you
where
swallow
am
your
I?
drink.
Are you trying to say the best dressed gentleman in drifting forgot his pants?
No, well, he only brought dress pants to a drift demo, realized he had to work on his car, so he comes over to our trailer, hat in hand, looking at me like, hey, I need to borrow something. I'm like, what's going on? What do you need? He's like, I need some pants. So, unfortunately, the only pair of pants I was wearing, so I depanted, gave him said pants, and then went about my business. And
Did you wear his dress pants?
No, I luckily brought a pair of shorts in the trailer. So
Very kind of you. That's the Canadian way.
The Canadian.
Thank you, Tim Hortons.
And then he
He'll take the pants right off your back.
and then he apologized.
yeah, and then I said
Did you
sorry
give
that
him
my
a donut
pants
with
weren't
it as
clean.
well?
You know what you should have done is just clam baked it with the big old wet one before you gave it to him.
Sorry.
Just
Pants at the end of the day in Las Vegas are fairly ripe.
Yeah, I'd been wearing these pants for probably 6 hours already, so
Oh,
they weren't
easy.
fresh
So
by any
good,
stretch.
good stuff.
Nice. Nice and warm and ready. All right,
Oh, yeah.
who's ready for Instagram questions?
Bring it on.
I mean, we already kind of did, but
Hit a couple.
No,
Let's hit him with a good.
stop
Let's
it.
hit him with a few. Just hit him with a handful.
Let's see.
Let's start off this way. Alan Union, what's your Timmy order there, bud?
Medium Dr. B. Dark
Large.
black.
what does that mean?
Sam.
Large,
Dr. B?
dark roast coffee, black.
Yeah.
And they write on the
Dr. B.
top, DRB, Dr. B.
That makes sense, I guess.
Never heard that.
Canadians are crazy.
Have you ever heard of a double-double? Does that make any sense to...
Yeah, it's an In-N-Out's burger. It's delicious.
Yeah.
No. Double-double is 2 cream, 2 sugar.
What?
Yeah,
It's
so when you
kinda-
order coffee, go to Tim Hortons, say I'd like a medium double-double, you'll get a medium coffee with 2 cream and 2 sugar.
Wait a second. That makes sense now. When
Double
Dave Briggs,
cap.
when
I mean,
Dave Briggs came out here,
Oh,
I would
yeah,
say
another
about 4
Canadian.
years
There we
ago.
go.
4 years ago, we went somewhere to order coffee, and he goes, "Can I get double cream?" And they're like, "What the fuck's double cream?"
Just double the amount of cream.
But what's
Yes.
the size of the cream? What's the
Is-
dose? But that's the thing.
So-
What's double
Teaspoon.
cream? See?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Park. What do
I
you
have a question from Kevin Shanahan. Riley, do you always get naked during hurricanes? And if so, what is your premium Snapchat?
Actually, it's not just hurricanes. Any sort of inclement weather. I like to remove as much clothing as possible.
Get rid of the
Or
stress.
sunny weather, or any weather really. Any excuse I have to get naked in public is good enough for me.
And what's your premium Snapchat?
I don't have one yet.
What?
I just get naked on regular Snapchat.
You're missing out, man. Like $5, $10, every month.
I like to be charitable, you know. I want to let everyone experience it.
Got
I
it.
don't want just the select few.
Everybody's seen that photo from St. Louis where Riley's screaming in the rain, but nobody realizes that he was in a porta potty when the hurricane came through.
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna be like Wizard of Oz, but the shittier like I die in an outhouse in St. Louis one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poetic.
Can we do that on a shirt? Like, I feel like we're not capitalizing really media.
The Anvil.
Pro tip. I think that face needs to be made anime out or hentai out, depending on who you talk to.
Hentai. Definitely there's more
And
tentacle.
just like that screaming face on the front of a shirt. Like that should be
I would love it.
Should we do a Photoshop competition with that on our?
Please, can you please?
We should do a Photoshop competition on our Driftcast page.
Yeah,
Who
we've
can
got to
create-
post
yeah,
post
we'll
that photo and we'll get the best photo. Actually, funny that you mentioned, because I actually have right here one from Kyle Cross. Let me send it to Brian real quick.
And then if you do a Photoshop competition, the winner I have to frame and give to my mother for her birthday.
Okay, I like that.
Done.
That's really awkward.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here, Mom. Here's a picture of me.
Like a good hentai I ever seen.
Check this out. This is Kyle Cross's submission for Photoshop.
Give it a second. Your computer's being dumb.
Okay, Photoshop your Riley Sexsmith.
Riley, are you an only child?
I am one and only. But they had me and they went, oh, ooh, that's enough.
They're like, man, this guy was a pain in the ass to give birth to.
I did come out upside down.
Did you come up with a head full of beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the computer to catch up. You guys don't read much. I'm
Oh,
gonna
is that Riley showering with Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. They're enjoying the waterfall.
In the waterfall. Do you remember that
Someone
moment?
leaked that. That wasn't supposed to get out.
Can you?
This is how the sex tape opens.
Yeah, I want to know. Can you relive that moment for us real quick? Just give us play by play on how this happened.
Well, I should make it clear that she had no idea I was there. Like most.
That is
most
the
women
issue.
I shower with. She didn't know I was in the room. But I'm pretty stealthy. I'm kind of like a big cat.
Right,
You know, I
for
take up a
sure.
lot of
You
space.
totally
I'm
are like
heavy,
a big
but
cat.
light on my feet. So I was
for
able to
sure.
creep up and get someone to snap a photo right at the right moment before the police arrived.
Before you depanted.
Yeah. And then I tore my suit off and screamed, and then it went downhill really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you would have got your pants back from Austin, you would have been all right.
Thanks, Mix. Let's see.
Go ahead, hit him with one more, Pac. Let's see. Hit him with a good one.
Here's one from Nate Spinks. Actually, I'm gonna give this one to Dov. So, dude, how many pizza pockets do you need to eat to get a beard like that? Well, I guess it goes back to Riley.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, Dov has a good beard too.
I just shaved it. It was much better, but it just drives me nuts. I'm trying to get to like Riley's level, and I just can't. I can't do it.
What? Riley has more hair on his bicep than I do on my face.
He's got more hair on his back than you have
on my whole body.
Yeah.
That's true.
Riley and I share that same problem.
What you guys don't know is that Riley wasn't conceived. He was knitted.
He was what?
Knit.
Knitted.
Like
Yeah.
I thought you said I wasn't
kneaded.
needed.
I thought it was
It's
like bread.
Oh wow.
Like
He
a
was-
needed like
He was
knit.
kneaded like a piece of bread.
knitted
But
like a sweater.
with the needles.
And
Yeah.
Corey has
Knit.
more hair on the one mole on his chimichanga arms
Yep.
than all of Riley's beard.
That's fair to say. I waxed that bad boy the other day. I got a home
You
waxing
guys,
kit.
you haven't seen Riley pre-FD. The beard was much larger.
Oh,
Yeah.
even better. I've seen
Track safety
Riley.
made him shave it.
I've seen
Yeah,
photos.
safety.
I've seen photos of Riley without a beard. Now that's exotic.
He doesn't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
chin.
It's terrifying. You
He
don't want
doesn't
to
have a chin.
Yeah, I heard he got that to cover up his chin. He doesn't have any.
Yeah. No, there is no chin.
It's
It's just the
mutilated.
upper jaw, and that's it.
It's
And hair.
mutilated.
Did you guys already read Macho Man Randy Sanchez's question?
Go for it.
Go ahead, shoot it, Sam. Shoot it.
Long-time commenter, first-time listener. He says, "Is it true that the song "Your Hard Body Is a Wonderland" was written about you?"
Yeah, John Mayer and I had a small fling.
For now, you guys
I
hooked
don't
up
really
one
want to
night?
go into
Is that
details
the
right
sex
now,
tape?
but there may be a cameo appearance, but it's still under investigation. I can't get into it right
Did that
now.
one also
Can you
end
give us the,
in a
give us
lawsuit?
the first and last initials of all the celebrities involved in your sex tape?
Oh man, we'd probably have to start another podcast just to cover all of them.
Your tongue, it's a bubblegum tongue, right?
hmm Yeah,
No. Moving on.
Moving on.
I got the reference. Anyways,
Can you care to explain it?
Long-time commenter, first-time commenter, Iron Dookie, classic Dookie. Classic Formula Duke. I love it.
Classic dude.
If you switch genders, what would you want your name to be? Secondary question: in which Maximum Driftcast host would make the cutest girl?
I mean, sorry, Sam. It'd probably have to be you. I think you'd make
You're
a
the cutest girl?
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was hoping.
Oh, you want to switch genders as Sam?
Yeah.
'Cause-
yeah.
yeah.
No, which host would just make the cutest girl?
Oh no, so I answered that backwards. If I changed my gender, what would my name be?
No, it said if you switch genders, what would your name be? And which Maximum Driftcast host would make the cutest girl? Was the answer Sam to both of those?
I don't know if I would want. No, I could keep my name if I was a girl.
look
I know
at that.
Oh man!
what.
Oh, you can't see it, Riley, but
No.
it's the photo
Oh,
of you drinking
man.
from the gas can.
Yeah, that's actual unleaded fuel too.
Yeah, because lead is poisonous.
Well, look, you don't have you don't have a single ounce of hair in that picture, and then you drink the fuel, and now look at you.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all it
so
takes.
the beard was
man.
the side effect.
So is that Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who found
What
that?
are you
Who
drinking
posted
out of
that?
that gas can?
Riley,
Why?
you're a very pale human.
Yeah, I live in Canada, man. The sun isn't even out for half the year here. It's
The
been
sun
dark
doesn't,
for like
the
6
sun
weeks.
doesn't go out for Canadians, man.
That doesn't look like a gas can. That looks like a butt chugging device.
Well,
Well-
I had just used it to butt chug, and
He
then
was
a little
just-
bit left.
He was just warming up
No.
the tip.
Riley
the
did.
butt chug.
Riley did the old fashioned A to M. That's what he did. He did the A to M.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta. The heat of the moment.
The last little drip. Dov, why did you hire Riley now that you're finding out all these secrets?
Why are we like this?
Why did I hire him?
Yeah.
Because he'd never go home otherwise. Like, he needs to be there for the full day at work so he can actually go home. When we were building the STI, like he might as well have slept at the shop and then gone to his old place of work. It was bad.
Just stayed there. Good man. That's why you turned so hairy, Riley. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it until now.
Hold on. I just stroked some goal. Brian?
Yeah.
Check.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm just waiting to
All
see
right.
what someone has unearthed.
Sam
from the
looks
internet.
excited. Sam, you gonna fall asleep? You're on West Coast time, man. Why are you even struggling?
No,
8
well,
o'clock
I
then.
live on West Coast, and I'm
Oh, boy.
in Central. I'm in Wisconsin, and I've been doing long shoot days, and I have another one coming up. I'll also, pink car has me a little bit excited.
Oh, zoom in on that. I'm getting a sneak peek of this.
Zoom in on that.
I'm getting a sneak peek of this picture. I believe. Let me see what it looks like here. It
I'm
looks
trying
like
to.
looks
Oh,
like
man.
Jeff from the live stream.
Uh-oh.
Sam, I think we found an old picture
I don't
of
know what
Jeff
I'm
from
in
the
for.
live stream. Go ahead, Brian. Zoom in on that a little.
It
bit
won't
more.
let me. Hold
Yeah,
on.
just
The computer's moving
Also, my
super
all
slow.
Just show it,
audio
just show it.
video
It's a bit of a
pictures
Just
problem.
show
are
it.
dying around me.
just show it. It's fine.
Oh, there it is. There it goes. There it goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
finally caught up.
Yeah. All right.
Can
There
you
you go.
still,
Look
can
at
you
this
still hear me,
thing.
boys?
Yeah, we got you, Sam.
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
My shit is all
You're-
dying, so I'm going to say goodbye now and to go to bed so I have an early shoot time.
Shut up,
But,
Sam.
It's only 11 o'clock, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah, but my headphones have died. I'm sure the audio quality has dropped significantly, and I'm gonna head out. But
shut up, Sam.
love to all
The
y'all.
visual quality hasn't dropped. Still
Thank
looking
you.
good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, Sam. We'll talk to you soon.
Hold on.
Thanks for
Talk to you
joining
boys
us.
soon. Finish out the show strong.
We're gonna
Riley,
end it in 2
thank
minutes.
you. Always a pleasure.
you.
Dov, thank you.
No problem.
First time pleasure, not the last time, I hope. And I'll see you boys either in Pro 1 or Pro 2. Doesn't matter. I'll see you guys at FD.
I look forward to it.
I wish you guys would say something mean to Sam real quick, but all right,
I
Sam.
can't say something mean to Sam. He's
All right,
only been
Sam.
nice to me.
Sam, we'll see you later, buddy. Freaking
Corey?
jerk. I don't want to hear it.
Eat shit, die.
Okay. I'll look in Paco's fridge to see if there is any.
What? Excuse me.
Love you.
Bye, Sam.
Can we hang
All
up
right.
on him already, Brian? Hang up on Sam because he's a P word.
Now Sam needs to hang himself out.
All right, there you go. Thank
Oh,
God
there
I
he
got rid
goes.
of him.
All right,
hopefully,
Sam.
hopefully Pat's petition.
So this is
Hey,
the first.
Hey guys, I didn't mean for this whole conversation to be so uptight with Sam here. Usually when he's here, it's a pain in the ass to deal with. I just want to apologize. I'm happy he's gone. Pat Gooden put out
It's like a
the-
breath of fresh air. now.
It is. It is. He's such a freaking jerk. And Pat Gooden put out the petition to try to get Sam off the show. I don't know if you guys seen that yet, but it's on change.org. So I apologize.
Already signed it, brother. Already signed it.
Good. Thanks, Dov. You're a true American, a true American. But no, I think it's a good time to kind of conclude the episode, anyways, because I think you guys have put out so much information, so much stuff for us to look forward to rolling into 2019 as it's already upon us. I believe Long Beach is only less than 60 days away, something like that.
Oh yeah.
So don't got much time. Don't have much time to find money, but sometimes money comes up just a few days before the event. So hopefully that is the case for you guys. And then obviously Enviado being such contributors to sports stuff. There wasn't people like you, people like Riley, even myself will not be on the racetrack. So it's not only what happens on the track, it's what you guys do off and behind the scenes. So thank you guys. So if you're on Canada and need your Subaru worked on and it has to be clean and cool, no rust, send that up to Dov. So it's a nice piece to work on. Paco, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna send Dov my SVX. He told me he loves them.
Oh man. I mean, I am a connoisseur of fine shit boxes, but the SVX is not a.
Be on a shit box.
Yeah, I don't know. People honestly walk into the shop all the time. They're like, "Hey, I have this SVX. It's been sitting around for like 5 years, and I was gonna swap it. I was gonna do this, do that, and it's just." They're like $500, and I just say roll it across the scales. Honestly,
Ditch it. Yeah, get some scrap
Well,
for
probably because over there they're probably all rusted, but the ones over here are
SVX,
mint.
The Canadian climate actually gets destroyed.
Yeah.
It can't hang with the salt and all the shit we have on the road.
Well,
Thank God we
pretty
didn't
soon
go ahead.
you're gonna be seeing mine sliding most likely. I'm just
I
gonna,
know you got the
think I'd
van.
love
and I'm
to work on it.
and I'm just gonna put an Enviado sticker on it. And if anybody asks me, I'm gonna say, oh, Dov did it all.
Yep, and it's gonna be broken down, and Dov's gonna be looking like a jerk. but
Yep.
It's not gonna. It's gonna be like the van. It's gonna be sitting in the backyard, not running.
It's already sitting in the backyard.
Oh, then you don't have to
Honestly,
move it. Throw a sticker on it.
I really like Arizona cars. We've now worked on a couple Arizona cars with our boys over at Speed Academy. They have a 350 and old school Celica, and it's amazing how good your cars are compared to ours.
Yeah, you guys are just used to the cars falling apart on you when you're working underneath. Cars here
like
are
you-
perfect. They
trying to
have no
get
rust.
bolts out, they're always seized and rotted and everything. And that Celica, I don't know what year it is. Riley probably knows, but
77.
Yeah, 77. And that whole thing came apart like butter. It was amazing.
Nice.
That's what you get. That's why we moved here for the
Yeah.
good cars, and that's it. Anyways, guys, thanks again. I know you guys got some real lives to get to, especially 11 o'clock at night. Sorry to hold you up, but thanks for everything. I'm sure we'll be talking to you guys beforehand, and we'll see you guys very soon, hopefully in Long Beach.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I always appreciate you making the time for us.
No, thank you guys.
No,
Thank
exactly.
you guys. Best of luck in the next few months.
We're sorry too.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Good. Sorry's all around. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry
So
that I
sorry.
took up your time. Sorry to everyone listening that you had to listen to me. I apologize 1,000 times.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We'll see you later.
Have a good
Good
night,
night.
boys.
See you guys.
Later.
Corey, good to see you. Brian, good to see you. Everybody, have a good night. Maybe eventually. 2 days. All right. Night.
Later, boys.